Hi, and welcome back to Thone's Mount Nibbles number 4, True Righteousness, and again, believe it or not, Poor in Spirit Part C, the prize. And this is the end of the Poor in Spirit trio. And we read it again, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, Matthew 5:3. So the prize is awaiting us, and that's something that we need to remember. Why is this in the Bible? It's our gracious gift from God. It's part of our love relationship with God. Communications. We got to note this is a gift. It's not something that we earn by doing great things. It's a gift from God to us. The application to my life. Here we begin to clearly recognize that salvation by grace is available to all who recognize they are not poor in spirit, that they are poor in spirit. Salvation is by grace alone, and thus who attempts to obtain it by their own will are doomed to failure. Being poor in spirit recognizes the inability to save themselves, and thus only theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Returning to the concept of the new Moses, we thus understand that Jesus is the spiritual equivalent to Moses. Moses provided a political and physical salvation for God's people. He saved them from being mistreated by the Egyptians. They were removed from Egypt and he led to the promised land. But now Jesus provides a spiritual and eternal salvation, removing their sin guilt and leading them to an eternal promised land. It has been noted by some commentators that all the other promised prizes in the Beatitudes are given in the future tense. This prize, and the last one that we'll be studying, are in the present tense. Theirs will be, rather than theirs will be, let me straighten this out. Theirs is the kingdom of heaven, it says. This is not theirs will be the kingdom of heaven. Thus, the kingdom, since Jesus' first coming, is at least partially available to all saved people today. So it's a present tense thing, whereas clearly some of these promises, are of the future tense and will happen basically when the millennial kingdom occurs. Now, God says, revel in the ownership in heaven. We may not be able to be there to inspect our land, but we have the deed already. That's our salvation. And we have an ownership in heaven. Now, my personal response is, Lord, thank you for the blessing of our knowledge of this forever kingdom. The Lord could have made the kingdom of heaven a big surprise for us. But to encourage the people who had to take yet another step before they could get there, He told us all about this. He told us about the blessings of the kingdom of heaven. And within the Bible, there are a huge number of references to the day of the Lord, for example, which is when God says, enough's enough, and from now on I am totally in control, and my people will inherit this place, and so on. So that completes that one, and we'll talk to you next time.